Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Today we're going to be hanging sliding mirrored doors on a bedroom closet. It's supposed to be a 15-minute operation. We'll see just how well we do. I've jumped ahead a little bit. I started the unpacking because I needed to get out the directions just to see what I had. But let's not let that stop us. I'm going to take the top mirror off so that I can get to the directions and the packaging of materials underneath. I'm going to set this mirror off to the side in a nice safe place. The directions are bilingual. Oh, we're talking a very small amount bigger. If we're a 1/16 of an inch too long, I'll be surprised. But that's okay. Having to cut it down is always much better than having to make it longer. Now, I'm going to make it short enough that I can slip it right into the opening because the edges will go in behind the trim here. And the rollers can't get all the way to the end of the track because the rollers are mounted inboard on the door itself, so the door will hit the wall long before it gets off the end of the track. I'm going to take about a 1/4 inch off the length of this track. That way I'll have enough room to put it in there easily and not have to fight it. Some of you guys might recognize this big old vise from the time I was filing on the Silver Endeavor flywheel. Always nice to have a big vise. I only need to take off a 1/4 of an inch. And really all I need to do is grip that tight enough to get that off. So take my square and a jackknife and I scribe a line. And carry it on around the corner. Some of you guys might be able to cut that without having a line on there. For me, I found it's easier just to take the time. fairly square. And that edge is going to be hidden behind the door frame, but I really, really wanted to have that look as good as I can. I don't think it's too shabby. There's 4 holes in the track, so that implies 4 screws going up into it. Rather than trying to start the screws while I'm holding the track up over my head, I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to use a scratch awl to hold this in place while I run the screws up in. Now that I have the first one in, I can take the scratch awl out. And it gives me a pilot hole for the screw. Put a little starter in there. These short little screws, it's difficult to get my fingers up into the track to hold it in place. There, all 4 screws in place. There's one hung. Not an easy tip up and set it in the track action either. Best laid plans of mice and men. Minor change in plans. The center bracket will not work with this door. Now I have to adjust these leveling legs that guide the rollers to make the door go up. You unscrew or turn counterclockwise on the screw. Concept is, I want to have the door close up square with the jamb. Now, this jamb is not exactly perpendicular. Have it up snug on the left side, it leaves a gap on the right side. Now we'll hang the second door, which won't be as easy as the first because I'll have the first one in the way of hanging the second. With the adjustments and changes, I'm about a half an hour into a 15-minute job. Doesn't really want to go into the track very well. I'm having to tip the door out and then lift up the upper roller and force it into the track, which is not exactly what I call easy installation. This other door down out of the way. Now I'm sure that somebody somewhere has a better way of doing this. But at this point, I don't know of it. And I'm willing to accept suggestions. But it looks like I'm having to do a whole lot of prying on this thing that I didn't expect to. That is not my favorite thing to do. Set the gap even on the top and the bottom. So that's where the track's going to be. Same thing on this side. So now, I'm going to put screws in. First time I installed it, I used 1-inch number 10 panhead screws, which should have given me enough grip. But it looks like I got to go down into the underlayment. So I went to the hardware store, got some 1.5-inch long ones. That'll let me go down and catch the subfloor. Because it feels like there's a gap between this underlayment that they put under the carpeting. Looks like they put a split right here. And the 1-inch screws went right into it. And I want to make sure and grab a hold really, really solid.
That's got pulled down it tightly. Doors are installed straight square from the looks of it. I just peel off this tape. Whew, that was a job. Well, not counting the work that they didn't count on, because there's no way they could have known that I was going to have a problem with the underlayment and have to change screws. And also, not being able to use the center pivot like I wanted to made it so that I had to do a little extra work. All in all, the door hung pretty easily. Done worse jobs for less reason. Looks pretty good. Does make the room look bigger. Actually, image-wise, it doubles the size standing here. Not a bad install. Took a good part of my Labor Day, but what the heck. I had the day off anyways. And I'm working on your tips that you gave me on the last few videos. If you have any new ideas, be sure and let me know. I've got one coming up on plasterboard. We're going to set up a test stand and try some different plasterboard techniques that I've learned over the years, and we'll try and roll them all into one thing. Thanks for watching.